Good day, everybody. Good day. Yep, we're doing an early sip today because I have to run some errands for my aunt today. So I said, let me get in an early sip and get this taken care of so I could be with her and do what needs to get done. Yes, yes, yes. So welcome to Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa. I am an ordained interfaith minister. I am a licensed religious science practitioner, and I am a certified life coach. And that triune is my ministry of joy, where I support people in living life in joy. So we are in our shadow series, and it's been a good one. Have you identified your shadow? From the 5 archetypes that I shared with you from Parker Palmer's book, Let Your Life Speak, right? Like I said, there are other shadow attributes, other shadow archetypes, right? So that was just 5. That was just 5 because I've given you a sip. I'm giving you a sip of the shadow and the shadow work and the opportunity that it is for us to take that inner journey to integrate all aspects of ourselves, right? To integrate all aspects of ourselves, because our shadow really is a part of us that needs a voice. It's trying to get our attention, right? It's something that needs to come into alignment, and we could do that intelligently. We could do that intelligently, just like we're training our thinking, right? We could train our shadow too. So it's not running amok. So it is not running amok. Yes? Yes, and getting us in trouble and messing up relationships and having us do and say things that we really don't mean, right? Being in all kinds of situations that we don't really need to be in, you know? So the shadow is an opportunity for us to come into that alignment, for us to come into that integration, right? To take that inner journey, to welcome the shadow. I welcome my shadow. When my shadow comes, when that functional atheism, I'm responsible for the world, it's my way or the highway, I'm controlling all this, you do what I say. When she show up, when that tone, especially, because Zola told me it's a tone. When she shows up, I got to pay attention, right? I need to listen to myself, and I need to listen to the person who I'm in interaction with, right? So I shared yesterday that today we're going to focus on our shadow tools, So if you want to get something to write on so you could take some notes, or you could just rewatch the sip again and take in what you need. So, excuse me. Okay, so I'm sharing 5 shadow tools. And like I said, there are many, many, many tools that you can use to do your shadow work, right? To shed the light on the shadow, right? Because Carl Jung says that the shadow is the dark side of us, right? It's that unacceptable attribute, right? And that there could be a collective shadow. Yes, and we also project our shadow onto others, right? And we see our shadows in other people. Yes, we do. So what do we do with all that? What do we do with all of that? We could use some tools. So the first tool is to accept and acknowledge your shadow exists. Don't be in denial about it, right? Everyone has a shadow. Everyone has a shadow. And like I said, you have some dominant ones. You might have a little bit of all of them, right? But everybody has a shadow. Everyone has a shadow, right? And in particular, the shadow makes us human. It's just a part of the human experience, right? So it's important that we incorporate it and understand that even in the dark, there's light. Even in the dark, there's light. So first, accept and acknowledge you have a shadow side. And if you can identify the archetype of your shadow, that's even more information for you to use. Yes? All right. Bless me. Number 2, do your inner work. Do your inner work. Parker Palmer wrote in Let Your Life Speak, your inner work is as real as your outer work. Some of us will give 8 hours to outer work and only a minute to inner work, or no minutes at all. So your inner work is just as important, or even more important, in my opinion, as your outer work. And Parker said, skimp on your inner work and your outer work will suffer as well. If you do your spiritual practice in the morning, if you take time with yourself and with the divine, it will have such a wonderful impact on your whole day. On your whole day, you are setting yourself up for success. Believe me. So do your spiritual practice. Doing your spiritual practice is part of your inner work. Be still every day. Be with your shadow. When you go into a meditation, if you're doing some inspirational writing, be with your shadow. Give your shadow a voice. Ask your shadow when you're doing your inspirational writing, is there something that I need to know? Is there something that you need to share? Right? So interact with your shadow when you're doing your inner work, when you're doing your spiritual practices. Identify your shadow. So one of the things that I do is I am a licensed religious science practitioner. And licensed religious science practitioners have the skill and the expertise and the training and the experience in helping people to get in touch with their shadow, right? And to support them by knowing the truth about who and whose they are, right? So if there's a gap between how you see yourself and your shadow, right? The practitioner is in the middle, is standing in the gap, holding what is true, holding what is true for you. So I always advise, get in touch with a licensed religious science practitioner. Book a session with them so that they could support you in your work with your shadow. I am a licensed religious science practitioner, and so you can always reach out to me if you're interested in having a practitioner session. 4, take inventory of your territory. Take inventory of your territory. So look at the people around you. Are they doing their work? Are they on an inner journey, right? Or are you around people who are casting their shadow on you and on other people, right? Are you in a situation where you just running amok with other shadows? You're just hanging out, shadow, 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 hang out, right? You zoom in with the shadow, right? So look at your external environment, right? Take inventory of your territory. Yes? All right. You want to be aware. You want to be aware. And number 5, feel your feelings and fear not. Your shadow is nothing to fear. Your shadow is not bad. Your shadow is not negative. Don't judge your shadow. Don't judge your shadow, because a lot of our shadows have that judging energy, right? We have that judging energy. We're judging the way people are doing things. We're judging the world, that the world is out to get us. We're judging ourselves, that we can't do anything right. We're judging. Our shadows have that judging element to it already. So it's no need to add to it. So fear not. Fear not. Feel your feelings. You don't want to suppress or repress or project your feelings on other people. So there's a Bible verse in Psalms 41:10 that says, don't be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be discouraged. Don't look anxiously around you, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you up with my victorious right hand. Yes? So know that you are not in this alone, that the beloved is with you, the divine is with you, the source is with you, the creator is with you, the universe is with you. Whatever your word is for that which is higher and more powerful and all-knowing, whatever your word is for that, it is with you. It is with you. So Parker said, do not Be not afraid does not mean that we cannot have fear. We do not need to be the fear we feel. So fear is a feeling. It is not who you are. Fear is a feeling. It is not who you are. So if you have an affirmation, if you have a pattern of thinking that says, I am fear, you want to change that, right? You want to release that and replace it with the truth of who you are, with the truth of who you are, right? So those are your 5 tools. 1, accept and acknowledge your shadow exists. 2, do your inner work. Do your work. 3, identify your shadow. 4, take inventory of your territory, what you got going on around you. 5, feel your feelings and fear not. You are not fear. Your shadow is not fear. Okay? All right. So this morning when I was doing my spiritual practice, you'll know that I love Mark Nepo, and so I was reading my Mark Nepo for today, and sure enough, there was something that aligned with shadow. There was something that aligned with shadow. So I wanted to just read that. So think about it in the context of the shadow, right? So a part of me that I've never given voice to. Our shadow can be a part of us that we've never given voice to. I discovered that taking part in another's dream or conflict or unresolved past was just a deeper way of listening, a deeper way of being present. The reward for such deep listening was the incredible honor of first witnessing a living model of human courage, and then finding comfort and healing in the surprise that our stories are really all the same. It seems the ancient medicine man understood that listening to another's story somehow gives us the strength of example to carry on, as well as showing us aspects of ourselves we can't easily see. So our shadow, if we apply that to our shadow, right? Our shadow is an invitation for us to do some deep listening, It's a way of being deeply present with ourselves, but not just with ourselves, with others also, right? So if we're projecting our shadow onto other people, or people are projecting their shadow onto us, what we need to know is that we're alike. We're the same. We have the same stories. There is not much difference in our experience when you get to the core of it. Right? It might get expressed in different ways, right? Like Viola Davis sharing her story of growing up in poverty and her shadow characters that she created, right? It could look different, but underneath it all, at the core, it's the same story. It's the same story. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not safe. No one cares about me. I am unlovable. It's the same story, right? Our shadow is an opportunity for us to go within and listen to that aspect of ourselves, and it's an opportunity for us to be present with each other. When I shared my shadow story that I had with my daughter, it was an opportunity. When she said, Mommy, I come in peace and you come in war, that was an opportunity for me to get present. To use the tool of getting present with myself and present with my daughter, because clearly I was someplace else, right? I was someplace else. So go, integrate, gather yourself up, all aspects of yourself, and get present and listen. Listen. All right? All right, y'all. So tomorrow, we're going to do our wrap up. And if you have any questions about the shadow, or anything in this series, this will be your opportunity to ask the questions. So please put your questions in the comment. Even if you're watching this later on, if you're watching the replay, you can put your questions in the comments so I could see them later on and I could be prepared to answer the questions tomorrow. So Patricia, when you see this, I will answer your question tomorrow, and any other questions about the Shadow series, just drop it in the comments and we will talk about that tomorrow and wrap up our Shadow series. All right, y'all. So we are living life in joy, even with our shadow, y'all. Yes, give the shadow some of your love because we want to connect to our yes. So we live life in joy, connected to our yes. All right, y'all. So now it's time for some joy news. So on Friday, which is tomorrow, I will be on a panel discussing holiday blues. Because, the holidays ain't merry for everybody. The holidays ain't merry for everybody. And so some folks have the blues, might feel a little sad, might even be dealing with depression, So tomorrow, Zeta Phi Beta sorority is doing a holiday blues workshop. It's free. It's on Zoom. It's at 7 o'clock. The Zoom link is in the flyer that's on my page, on my Facebook page, and my Instagram page. So if you would like to participate, just Zoom in at 7 o'clock tomorrow. All right? So I will be on the panel with a clinical psychologist who will also be giving some wisdom, some tools that folks can use to support themselves if you're feeling blue. Because this year was something, right? This year was something. So join in and get some information for yourself or for others in your life. On Monday, we are meditating with the new moon, at 4 a.m. Eastern time. I told you we're going to do some shadow stuff with the moon on Monday. So morning sip on Monday will be at 4 a.m. Eastern time, meditating with the full moon. Yes, that's going to be wonderful. Other reminders, please check out my podcast, Sip with Red Melissa, the podcast. And the series that I just dropped was our affirmative prayer series. And it's a good one if you want to learn or refresh or experience a different way of praying. Spiritual mind treatment is a 5-step process, scientific and art. Prayer is an art. So if you want to get on some affirmative prayer, check out the Affirmative Prayer Series on Sit with Red Melissa, the podcast. And you can listen, you can binge listen and get it all in. And then practice prayer. All right? Follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. I am Red Melissa. So you'll know I shared yesterday that I am expanding my territory. That is my heart's desire. And so I need your support. I need at least 500 followers on Instagram and on Facebook on my I Am Red Melissa pages. So spread the news, y'all. Spread the news and ask your friends to like me and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I Am Red Melissa. Thank you so much. So that goal is January 31st. By January 31st, I will have 500 followers, at least 500 followers on Instagram and on Facebook. I Am Red Melissa. And so it is. Amen. This is something better, y'all. This is something better. All right. And then if you want to stay in touch, please sign your email in my website. Totally went out of my mind. Website, iamrevmelissa.com. All right. So please visit my website and put your email address so we can stay connected, because I got some stuff happening in 2021 that's going to be good. That's going to be good. So iamrevmelissa.com. So that is it for today. I know I came on early, and I know that some of you is like, where's Rev Melissa when 10:30 comes? But I had to come on early today because I have to do some stuff for my aunt. But I will be back tomorrow, 10:30 a.m., and we will wrap up the Shadow series, and I will answer any questions that you have. So please put your questions in the comments. All right? All right. So we are good to go. You have a wonderful day. Peace and blessings. Peace and justice. Live life. Enjoy. Live life. Enjoy. Connected